This is Go Figure, day number 2. The text had come into a Google number that I use in business to shield my actual phone number. So I was bold but cautious. I replied, asking if we could do a call at a certain time, but I heard nothing back for several days leading up to that time. I wondered what was going on. Then I realized why the person hadn't gotten back to me. So I want to add a little side note here. It says the text had come into a Google number that I use in business to shield my personal number. So these books, the Days of Spaniard books, they are fiction based on fact. Dred, my co-writer, my business partner, we use my real story and infuse or put in fiction, stuff that we make up to create these books. I actually do have a Google Voice number. And when I started podcasting years and years and years ago, so post-fighting, I started a business. I had no idea what I was doing. I knew nothing about business, nothing about anything, right? I was coming from professional fighting. I used to give out my Google Voice number or my Google number on my podcast because I had read that connecting with your audience is really important. And I had very, very few people, not a lot of people listen to my podcast anyway. Shh, don't tell anyone. But there were surprisingly very few people that reached out to me on this Google Voice number. But of those people who reached out to me, I'm pretty sure I'm friends with 75 or 80% of them to this day. So that was a fun, neat experience. If you go way back on the Spaniard Show, maybe you can find that number. But it says, the lesson on the left says, texting can be unpredictable and tricky. Ask adults about what they do when texting, especially about their precautions. So this is really important. And I might sound like an old talking head here, but what you put out there is out there. My brother forever, potentially. My brother is a principal. I interact with a lot of principals. Be cautious about what you text message. You might think, oh, it's just between me and this other person. But with one decision from that other person, with one error in the number that you type in to send it to, one small thing can change the privacy that you think exists for the whole world to see. Now, consider that when sending text messages. Understand that, hey, what I'm about to send, is this something that I'm comfortable with the whole world seeing? Now, that is not like cut and dry. There is nuance, meaning there is context. There's not always an easy answer to that, right? But if you use that as a guide, hey, worst case scenario, everyone sees this. How will I respond to it? That can be an appropriate guide moving forward with texting.